Most soccer training environments assume that if players are exposed to the right drills, development will naturally follow. But that's not how player development actually works. Because training does not just improve players, it shapes what they become. In modern soccer, development systems rely on multiple disciplines: coaching, strength and conditioning, sports science, and performance analysis. But the most influential environment for adaptation is still coach-led training on the field. This is where players interact with the constraints of the game over and over again. And one of the most widely used tools in that environment is small-sided games. Small-sided games are modified versions of match play, with fewer players, reduced space, and specific tactical constraints. And they're used because they replicate key demands of competition, not just physically, but technically and tactically as well. Players aren't just executing skills, they're solving problems in real time. But to really understand how small-sided games influence development, we need to zoom out and look at the system they exist within. This model shows how development is shaped across multiple levels, starting from culture and governing bodies, down to clubs, and most importantly, the coach. Because the coach ultimately designs the training environment, and within that environment, small-sided games become the mechanism that drives adaptation. Training does not exist in isolation. It is shaped by the system above it. One of the reasons small-sided games are so effective is that they create an integrated training stimulus. Players experience frequent accelerations and decelerations, repeated high-intensity efforts, continuous decision-making, all at the same time. This is very different from isolated drills, because in small-sided games, physical, technical, and tactical demands are combined. But not all small-sided games produce the same outcomes. The design of the game matters. Change the number of players, change the size of the field, change the rules, and you change the demands placed on players. Smaller formats increase pressure, technical actions, and decision speed. Larger formats increase running demands, sprint distance, and tactical spacing. So what the player adapts to depends on what the coach designs. This is why the coach is central to player development, because they are not just delivering sessions, they are designing environments that shape behavior. Over time, those environments determine what type of player emerges. But even when the environment is the same, players do not respond the same way. This model shows individual variability in training response. Every player enters training with different physical capacities, tactical understanding, experience levels. So when exposed to the same session, their adaptations will differ. Development is not uniform, it is individual. In the same game, one player might be highly engaged, another may struggle, another may dominate. The environment is constant, but the response is not. Within the Strike's applied sports science framework, training is not just preparation for competition. It is a system that shapes development. Small-sided games are not just drills. They are environments that integrate perception, decision-making, and movement. And when designed intentionally, they can drive meaningful, long-term player development. Selection determines who enters a development system, but training determines what they become. And in soccer, that development happens on the field. If you want to explore more Strike's applied sports science content, make sure you to subscribe and follow along. And if you're working within a club or an academy environment, start asking a better question. Not just what are we training, but what are we developing?